talk. What do you think? What is money laundering? Anyone can tell me what is this money laundering? Yeah, I know everybody know about it. Mm-hmm. What is money laundering?
The
Hmm.
process,
The process?
the money converting to illegal money to legal.
Exactly. It is a process of converting your ill-gotten cash into white money. Now, how do you get that illegal cash? How are you going to? What are the sources of getting illegal money? Any idea? Anybody can take it. How do you get that? When you say that illegal money, first of all, how are you going to get it? If you yourself should be involved in money laundering, let's assume that how do you get that money? What are the different sources of getting money, illegal money? hmm I can write it here if somebody want to see it. So when we say that it is a process of converting illegal money into a white money, okay, so that is called money laundering. So now, how do we get this illegal money? First of all, anybody know? What are the different sources of illegal money? hmm
Drugs,
Drugs. You're right.
human trafficking,
Very good.
human trafficking,
Drug trafficking. Okay, human trafficking, or maybe we call it as human smuggling. What else? What are the other sources? Kidnapping, right? Maybe artifact smuggling, or it might be wildlife trafficking also. What is wildlife? hmm Anything else? So wildlife is related to animal. There is something called illegal logging also. What is that? Somebody know what is illegal logging? Related to what? hmm It is something related to environmental. Okay, so we call it as trees smuggling or wood smuggling. Okay, I can write it as wood smuggling. Okay, so it might includes your sandalwood trees and maybe high valued trees. So people will be involved in cutting trees and smuggling it to the other countries. Probably you would have watched movie called Pushpa 1, Pushpa 2. That's what illegal logging is. Okay. So what else do you think so, guys? So it might be a corruption, right? So it might be bribe. Who can receive bribe? Anybody can receive. You being an employee, you also might involved in bribe. Now once you get that bribe, so that is a illegal money. Probably you would have received it through cash. Now what do? Is it, are you going to take it to your account? If somebody identifies, okay, if you're MSP, you're working in MSP exchange house, if they identify that one of our employees involved in taking bribe, 10%, 20%, 30%, whatever it is, commission, so there is a employee violations. Your employment, it'll get terminated. In case if they know that terminated, it might lead to, okay, so penalties and fines. It might even lead to imprisonment also, jailing. So we should be very careful. This is code of conduct. Okay, ethics we call it as. And this is very important. These are all the illegal sources of money that we have. Okay, let's assume that once you get illegal money, okay, so probably you are involved in drug trafficking or human trafficking, smuggling, kidnapping, artifactual smuggling, or wildlife, illegal, corruption, bribe, whatever it is. You got money. Now, what are you going to do it? How are you going to convert this illegal money into white money? You have already got bulk cash. Okay, so there are multiple ways you have earned this. Okay, so we don't call this as earning. This is illegal anyway. This is a illegal money. So you got it illegal cash. Now how do you convert this? Through using what? What are the systems you are going to use it? I'm just using word as system. That might be any of the system. So how do you convert this bulk cash into white money? What are the different systems that we have? Anyone know? Mm-hmm. What are the different systems that we have? So where are you guys working right now?
Yes.
Exchange
Yeah,
house.
exchange houses.
It is exchange house. Is it a financial institution or bank?
Financial
It
institution.
is
Financial.
financial institution, right? So anybody can, okay, convert their ill-gotten cash into white money through financial institutions also. There is something called FI, we call it as, okay, FIs, financial institutions. What else? Okay, they can take this cash to bank also, right? They can convert their ill-gotten cash into white money. They can take it to non-FI also. Non-FI, what are non-FI? Non-financial institutions. Example, anybody can give it. Okay, they can even take it to DNFBPs. What is DNFBPs? Designated non-financial business and professions. Your financial institutions are such as MSPs, where you are working right now, exchange house. Okay, your insurance. Okay, or maybe credit card industry, or it might be okay securities industry where you use your money for making certain profit out of it. Securities, right? These all are the financial institutions that we have. Bank is bank, we know that. Okay, so customer is going to hold accounts with bank, but customers are not holding accounts with these institutions. It is not required. There is something, some trading account, demat account, those are not like a banking account. There is no ongoing periodic review on those accounts. It is only periodic review is going to happen on the savings account, your personal account, entities account. Okay, only the bank accounts, what I meant. Okay, and what are the non-financial institutions that we have? Any idea? Okay, your travel agency is a non-financial institution, right? And there is something called art industry. This is not considered as a designated. This will come under non-financial industry because it is going to go through auction. There is different rules and regulations for this. Okay, and it is going to go with bettings. It is completely different. And what are designated non-financial institutions, business and professions that we have? Anybody can tell me what is this? Casinos. Okay, any of online and offline casinos, online bettings and offline bettings, they are designated non-financial business and professions. What else? Anybody can tell me? Real estate agents. Okay, your gold dealers, or maybe they are, the gatekeepers. Okay, or you can see TCSPs also. What are TCSPs? Trust TCSPs, trust and TCSPs. Okay, trust and company service providers. So mainly gatekeepers will be involved in it. So now once we get bulk cash, don't think that the people people will be only legitimizing the illegal money into a white money using financial. Don't think in that way. Don't be assumption that we can convert our illegal cash into a white money only through financial institution. No, we can convert it through bank. We can convert it through financial institution, non-financial, and even designated non-financial business and professions also. This money launderer, person A can go anywhere and start converting their illegal money into a white money. All right, so these are the obliged money laundering, obliged entities that we have. We know what is a money laundering process. Money laundering process is converting the illegal money into a white money. So how do they convert illegal into white money? Using all these institutions. That's the reason I call it as institution. I'm not calling it as financial institution because it might be any other institution. It might be non-financial also. It might be designated non-financial business and professions also. And we know that mostly people will be laundering through banks. Okay, and banks rules and regulations are very strict nowadays because banks will be holding customer accounts. There should be a KYC in place. There should be customer due diligence in place. There should be a transaction monitoring, ongoing sanction screening. There's something called periodic review. They are going to do it. If they identify, there is a high chances if somebody who's using bank for money laundering, bulk cash, significant, substantial amount is getting converted through bank. Not today, probably tomorrow he's going to get caught. So he, unless if he is making certain structuring, micro structuring, smurfing, or any other money laundering technique. So if I am not involved in any kind of a layering, so it is quite obvious that I can get caught. So this is how your money launderer will be converting their black into white money. Now, in order to convert this, now it is not only placing this money into a financial bank, non-financial or designated non-financial business and profession. What is this placing money? What stage is that? What do we call it as? What are the different stages of money laundering that we have? Anybody know?
Placement, layering, and integration.
Placement, layering, and integration. What is placement? Anybody can tell me? Hmm? What is placement?
Introducing the money.
Right. So placement is placing the money. Where are you placing? These all are the options that you have. Financial, bank, non-financial, designated, non-financial, business and professions. Placing is cash placing. Okay, it's a cash involved. It is completely cash. Okay, so placement. Okay, this is 100% cash involvement will be there in the placement stage. Okay, now so is it done? So if you once you place all the money into a bank, is it laundering is done? Do you think so? Complete laundering is done. You have, let's assume that you have say around 60,000 Qatar currency. Okay, and then now you know that you are a very smart money launderer. You know that okay, so if I deposit anything more than 50,000, they are going to ask me a lot of questions because 50,000 is a CTR threshold. Anything which is 50,000, they're going to ask me questions. They're going to ask me source of fund. They might try understand from where did I get these funds. There is a high chances of I am getting caught. So what do? I make 25,000 one transaction, 35,000 tomorrow done. So does it mean the placement is done, the entire money laundering process is completed?
No, sir.
No, right? So it is just a placement. It is just a placement. Probably you would have, used system, any of the system for placing your money, but still that is not a money laundering done. That is the entire process is not completed. There's a high chances any time bank can, come back and start reviewing it. Your transaction from last 6 months or 1 year. And then you get caught that, yeah, there are two transactions. This person has made it 25,000 plus 35,000, total 60K. Okay, Qatar currency. And this is a possible structuring. We get to know that yeah, this is day one, okay, and this is day two. So why didn't this person has done it, all at once? Why is as he splitted it? It's kind of a structuring now. This is suspicious activities. They're going to report it to competent authorities. Now, in order to hide this, not to get any questions, what do you do it after placement? So what are you going to do it in order to get escape from banks and financial institutions or non-financial institution? How are you going to do it? Is there any
They
option?
will
Layering,
layer.
right? Layering. So what do you do layering? For what reason we have to conduct a layering? Being a money launderer, think about it. Okay, from the perspective of money, because when we think what money launderers will be involved in, what are the methods they'll be using it, what are the stages they'll be using it, we as a bank or as a financial institution, we can easily stop it. That's the only intention. I'm talking from the perspective of money launderer first. Okay, so layering, you have to do layering. For what is the main purpose of doing layering? Why do we have to do layering? What is the main intention of layering? Hmm. So why do we have to involve ourselves in layering process in order to not get caught? How does it make sure that I don't get caught? So what is the main purpose of layering, guys? Anybody?
They will transfer the fund from one account to another account.
One account to another account, A to
Mm,
B, okay, and take it
mm,
back, right, from B to A, or maybe A to insurance, take it back to A. Maybe they'll transfer it to securities, take it back to A. As securities, when they are sending it, it will come as a profit. When they are sending it to insurance, it is going to come as a maturity amount. When they are sending it to B, B will send it back little later, right? They can it is just routing the funds within the accounts. The intention of routing the funds is to hide the source of fund. Okay, hiding source. That is the main intention I'm involved in. Okay, creating a lot of layers in my bank account. The placement, once I place the money into a bank account, this is not, the entire money laundering process. So we have to involve in order to hide source of fund. We have to involve in layering. We have to create a lot of additional layers in the bank account. Once I create a lot of additional layers in the bank account, I can easily escape. That's the main intention of layering. Right. So once you complete layering, let's assume that if even if somebody understanding it, go back and reviewing the transactions, they could see that easily. Yeah, this person A is a money launderer. Okay, so we don't know who is if this person is a money launderer. Okay, he has sent it to somebody else, taking it back. He has given it to investment, and he stayed there for some time, and then taking it back as a profit. So all white money, and maybe he is booking a ticket and canceling it, getting it as a refund. It's a white money. We have already created it is kind of a confusion. We are just creating a confusions to the banker, because we don't want to get caught. I don't want to get caught if I'm a money launderer. So once I do this layering, what I'm supposed to do it? Integration. What is integration? What happens in integration? Hmm? What happens in integration? What is this process of integration? Hmm. Anybody want to talk? Ultimately, the money is going to come outside from the bank, right? It is going back to the economy. Probably I'm purchasing any of the luxury items. Okay, so luxury as in gold, property, might be anything. All right, might you're investing in certain, art, anything. So this is a legal money. This is, in case if you're holding all these things, this is as good as holding cash. It is equivalent to cash, and this is in the form of white. Nobody can ask you question. Simple. This is the money laundering process that we have. Okay, so we have to understand clearly how money laundering happens, because it is very important for us to understand it. Why money laundering is a problem? Think from a banking perspective, or as a country's perspective, why money laundering is a problem. What happens if money laundering, there is a huge money laundering in the country? Why money laundering is a problem for us? Why are we learning it today? Maybe why are you guys attending today's training? What is the main problem of money laundering? Hmm? What happens if there is a money laundering? Okay, think from your exchange house perspective, and there are a lot of customers are involved in money laundering, and you are not able to identify it. What happens? Hmm? What is going to happen to your exchange house? There'll be definitely a regulatory audit. They would identify that, yeah, exchange house policies and procedures are not good. This is the only reason there are a lot of money laundering which is happening. There are a lot of customers are abusing systems. There might be chances that penalties, okay, fines, or maybe losing license. This is the consequence of money laundering. Okay, it might ultimately lead to economic crisis also. Okay, we'll discuss this how. Okay, There are a lot of internal and external factors are involved. Those affect your economy. There are certain social impacts also, not only economic impact, social impact. When I talk about economic impact, so it might, we start losing GDP, we might start losing FDI, we might, there are certain political impacts also. So the decision making will be bad. Okay, when decision making and if these all things are happening, there might be a reputation also, reputation loss to a institution or to the entire country. When there is no reputation for a country, this might lead to, okay, FATFs, gray list or blacklist. Okay, it might even lead to sanctioning a country also, sanctions risk. These all things which are going to happen in case if there is money laundering, and we are here to, okay, combat money laundering. We are here to fight against money laundering. We don't want anybody is abusing our financial system. If we are working in in the financial institution, if we are working in any of the exchange house, we want to safeguard our institution. That is the reason we are here today, right? I don't want anybody using my system for money laundering. If I know that, I'm going to escalate it. Right? Maybe if any employee is involved in willful blindness, okay, employees involved in willful blindness are tipping off. Yes, as a colleague of an employee, that employee, okay, employee to employee. Let's assume employee one is there, okay, and the second employee. If employee one is involved in, okay, this person may be RM or whoever it is, okay, this person is taking certain bribe, okay. So when this person is taking bribe and the employee two know about it, okay, he already know this is known factor for him. So what he should do it, employee two, what employee two is going to do it? Hmm? Guys, talk. You don't have to on mute completely, so you can talk about it. So what employee should be doing it? The other employee, in case if you know that your colleague is doing something wrong, supporting clients, okay, facilitating money laundering, okay, taking money from customers. So what are you going to do it being a colleague of your friend?
Need to report.
Please report it. Okay, that's what it is going to happen. So this is called conflict. Okay, compliance, code of conduct. Okay, or maybe we call it as whistleblowing, ask HR. All right, multiple names. Ethics also we call it as. This is the ethics. So there's something called tipping off. Okay, we should be very clear. We should be very careful on this. You shouldn't be tipping off if any entity or any entity or individual is involved in the investigation. Please don't talk to customers about any of the investigation. Okay, please don't tip off. This is one of the biggest employee violation. Willful blindness. Okay, there's something called willful blindness. Okay, what is willful blindness? You're ignoring the facts. You know that this employee is involved in certain violations. Okay, knowing also, knowingly, if you're ignoring the fact, okay, if you are ignoring, not reporting, this is considered as a willful blindness. Now, this employee is also is going to face certain, consequences from the bank. So these are, highest violations of employees that we have. We should be very careful and we shouldn't be missing anything because we are here to safeguard our institution. We as an employee, okay, as employees, so we should safeguard our institution, combating, fighting against money laundering which are happening. We don't want anybody to abuse the financial system. That's the main reason we are here to understand why money laundering is a problem. Okay. So now now these are the three stages of money laundering. Okay, so placement, layering, and integration. This we have discussed, and these all are the money laundering industries that we have. Okay, so banking institution we have discussed, financial institutions. All right. So when I say financial institution, this is where you guys are working. This is exchange house. Right. This is insurance industry, securities industry. So by using all three industries, money launderers can convert their black into white money. right? There are different stages they'll be using it. If when it comes to banking institution, all three stages. Okay, placement and layering integration. Okay, when it comes to MSB, all three stages. Okay, when it comes to insurance, two stages, placement and layering. There is no integration is going to happen through the insurance industry. If it is securities industry, it is only one, that is layering. Why only one? Because they're going to deal each and every transaction through accounts. There's something called demat account, trading account for buying and selling, and there's something called your personal account should be connected with demat account in order to trade in a securities. If you don't have one of the account, they are not going to allow you to trade. There's no cash involvement there, right? So that is called layering securities. Now you would have watched movie called Lucky Bhaskar, right? That talks about completely your market manipulation, right? So that is how you can, I mean, being a money launderer or anybody who is a money launderer, they can start converting the ill-gotten cash into white money through securities industries, right? So now if you come to non-financial institutions, travel agencies, all three stages you can use it. Art industries, all three stages. Casinos, okay, because cash is allowed here. You can book your ticket through cash also. You can go ahead and go to one of the art industry, art antique auction house. You can buy it through your cash also. Casinos, okay, there are two stages, placement and layering. Okay, gatekeepers, all three stages. TCSPs, all three stages. Gold dealers, right, all three stages. Real estate, all three stages. So this is how the money laundering obliged industries are facilitating money laundering in case if they want to do it. And we being a compliance is there everywhere. Okay, compliance is there in bank, your financial institutions, your DNFBPs, your non-financial institutions. So we being a compliance, so it is our responsibility, okay, to start combating money laundering, terrorist financing, or any other serious financial crimes which are happening in the world. Now we are working in MSB's compliance or any of a branch or teller. It is our responsibility. Compliance, complying rules and regulations is our responsibility. It's very important for us to follow it. If you don't follow it, our MSB is going to lose license, or maybe it might lead to penalties and